welcome to the Huntsman World Senior Games Active Life. My name is Kyle Case, and I'll be your host on this amazing journey as we attempt to help you get the most out of your life. Joining me in the studio today, as always, is my co-pilot, Jeff Harding. Jeff, how are you today?
Kyle, I'm well. How are you?
I'm good. Thanks for asking.
And I'm active, too.
You are, which is exciting.
Except for right now, I'm being a little sedentary. But other than this, I'm usually pretty active.
You are a pretty active guy. I know that you are. So, Jeff, the Huntsman World Senior Games is coming.
It is just around the corner. Where did this year go? It's just disappeared.
It has flown by. That is for sure. Those of you who are familiar will know that the Games welcome more than 10,000 athletes each year to St. George, Utah. They come from all around the world. In fact, in our 29th year, we will have hosted 72 different countries over that time period at the Games. So when we say, World Senior Games, we like to think that there's something behind that.
I think there are folks out there who didn't know that there were actually 72 countries in the world. But there's even more than that. There's even a few more that we haven't hit yet.
There are some that we're trying to get, Greenland in particular.
So if you're out there listening from Greenland on the internet,
it's not too late to register.
Please come, yes.
Yeah, it's www.seniorgames.net. You can register today. But each of our athletes, Jeff, as you know, they come with a unique story and a background, and our athletes come to the Games for a variety of reasons. We know that they come to socialize and for the social aspect, but they come for the competition as well. And
that's right.
Well, it's not only about winning. Most people,
that's the preferred outcome.
Yeah, they would prefer to go home with a medal, right?
Right.
Well, today, just for variety, I wanted to share a few stories about athletes who have won. But they haven't won a medal at the Huntsman World Senior Games. They've won a place in history as a record holder in the Guinness Book of World Records.
Now, this is probably going to be very special.
It will be. You just hold on to your seat there.
I am. I'm holding on.
Now, I don't know. You know this, Jeff, but not a lot of people know that I was actually involved in 2 Guinness Book of World Records.
And actually, I was involved with those
You were
too.
there.
Yes,
you were there. So anyway, I have kind of this fond spot in my heart for the Guinness Book of World Records. But I wanted to go over just 5 people who stood out to me, athletes who have done some pretty interesting, if not amazing things.
I'm lay it on me, Kyle.
Okay,
I am ready.
Here's the first one. The heaviest living athlete. The heaviest living athlete.
He took years to accomplish that.
Yes, he did. But he's a sumo wrestler.
Mm-hmm.
His name is Emmanuel, or Manny, as he goes by, Yarborough of Rahway, New Jersey. So Manny stands 6 foot 8 inches tall, and he weighs 704 pounds.
How would you like to make that guy have to touch something other than the bottoms of his feet on the ground?
Seriously.
I mean, if you're going to be a sumo wrestler, you might as well be 6'8", 700-something pounds.
704 pounds. So, obviously, he's going to be hard to move out of the ring or to bring down to the mat. So, anyway, he is the heaviest living athlete, according to the Guinness Book of World Records.
I think I'll let him keep that title. I'm not going to go after that one.
I think you should. Here's another one that I found very interesting.
Okay.
If not amazing.
If
not amazing, okay? The farthest throw of a person. Now, did you know that was an event?
Well, I know that there are some bars that have those activities, but
interestingly enough, a lot of these records were actually set in a pub or in a bar. So I think this was one of them. No, this was at a shopping mall. But Jonathan McFarland of New Zealand, he threw Andrew Rainford a distance of 15 feet 11 inches on the set of New Jersey Smash's Guinness World Records at the Sylvia Park Shopping Mall in Auckland, New Zealand.
Wow.
And that record was set on July 25th, 2009, and has not yet been broken.
Does it say how big his...
It doesn't say how big either of them were. So I'm assuming that Jonathan was bigger than Andrew.
And Andrew may have been a little person.
He may have been. I don't know. But I know that he got thrown 15 feet 11 inches.
Which is a long ways.
It's quite a ways to throw a person. Anyway, there's a record there for an interesting, if not amazing, athlete, right? Okay, here's another one. Most passes of a giant volleyball. Now, I'm not sure what constitutes a giant volleyball. They did have a picture that I saw, and it was big, but I don't know if a little bit bigger would have been a gargantuan volleyball and a little bit smaller would have been something else. I don't know. It was a big volleyball. Mm-hmm. But the most consecutive passes of a giant volleyball is 582.
Which is really, that's a lot.
You and I could do that, though.
Maybe.
I think we should try.
Have you seen my passes of volleyballs?
Well, maybe I need a different partner. Maybe you need a different partner, because I know I'm not very good at that either. But 582 passes. It was set by Vanessa Sheridan and Patty Bunce. They're both from the United Kingdom. And they were. It was part of a radio publicity stunt in London. And this record was set on November 9th of 2006. And they passed that ball back and forth 582 times.
That's a lot. I mean, that really is a lot.
Yeah, it is. Speaking of volleyball, the longest beach volleyball marathon. So this is not the longest volley, but the longest game. They just played and played and played. Mm-hmm. The longest beach volleyball marathon lasted. Do you have any guesses?
My calves are tired already, but I don't know, no.
And this is in sand, too. This is beach volleyball.
That's why my calves are tired.
It lasted 25 hours and 39 minutes.
That's amazing.
That's a long time to play volleyball.
That is a long time.
Especially on the beach, that's sand.
That's a long time to do anything.
That's a long time to do anything. Even play solitaire or whatever.
Yeah.
So this was achieved by 2 teams of German players. I'm going to slaughter their names, but I'll do my best. Mateusz Baca, Sebastian Ludke, Thomas Oslak, Wojciech Kerszewski, or something like that.
Congratulations to all 4 of them.
Yes, absolutely. This was set on July 3rd and 4th. Because it's 25 hours. Right, it took 2 days of 2010. And I think that they are worthy of that. Congratulations.
Definitely.
25 hours. Okay, here's the last one.
All right.
This is another one that I found interesting, if not amazing.
Amazing. They've all been amazing.
They've all been amazing so far, so I hope this last one is as well. This is the most items kicked off heads in 1 minute. Now, visualize that. I'm going to give you a second.
I'm visualizing being the poor dummy that's having this stuff kicked off their head.
Now, again, there was a picture accompanying this record, and they were all wearing football helmets.
Oh, okay. So...
And they had a variety of different things.
There was the safety gear
on top of their head. Yes.
Okay, all right.
So the most items kicked off people's heads in 1 minute. Guess how many it is?
50.
So that was a good guess. I was going to say 1 minute. Remember, it's only 60 seconds. Mm-hmm. So 43 items.
43,
which is a lot.
That is.
I mean, you gotta get your leg up there. So 43. Yeah. It was achieved by Zara Pythian of the United Kingdom. These United Kingdom people, they're
big on the Guinness Book of Records.
Yeah, they go after it, don't they?
And they like their pubs too.
Yes, they do. This one was set on March 25th of 2009. So some pretty amazing,
absolutely astounding
accomplishments.
And now I have some goals that I can try and achieve.
Which one are you going to go for?
The heaviest.
You're going for the sumo wrestler.
I'm not 6'8", but I think I can accomplish the 700 pounds. I'm a good portion of the way there already.
You're a little ways off from that, but set your goals high and see what you can accomplish. You never know. Well, speaking of athletes and amazing athletes at that, today we're very lucky, Jeff. We have a very special guest joining us by telephone from California. It's one of our very own amazing and interesting athletes, Kati Twinem-Jones. Kati, how are you today?
I'm good, thank you.
Good. Thank you so much, Kati, for taking time out of your busy schedule to join us on the show today. We're excited to get to know you a little bit better. Kati has been a swimmer, she's been a runner, she's been a cyclist, and she's also put all 3 of those together and has competed in a variety of triathlons.
And I think we need to ask, Kati, are you a Guinness Book of World Record holder?
Oh, I wish, but no.
No, not yet. Well, it's never too late. If you can come up with generally it's the craziest stunts that you can come up with. Those are the ones that seem to make it these days. But anyway, so we wanted to get to know you a little bit better and, kind of hear your story and your experiences. Now, you've done a variety of different things throughout your life. When you were a little girl, Kati, did you find that you were always active? Did you participate in organized sports, or were you just kind of a late bloomer? How did you kind of get introduced into sports?
Well, actually, when I was growing up so many years ago, there weren't a lot of organized sports for women at all.
Yeah.
I mean, not at all. So I did run around a lot. I played, in elementary school, played the sports that they had us play and all like that. And I got involved with swimming. My mom was a competitive swimmer growing up and actually was very good. She was a state champion in Ohio, and so I guess I got some of the genes for that. And learned to swim when I was young and swam mostly competitively, like all through junior high, high school, and a couple years in college. And it was fun. I really enjoyed it.
So you really were a swimmer then, if you were able to swim in college. That's fantastic. What school did you go to?
I went to the University of Pacific, but I didn't swim at the collegiate level in terms of the major meets. This was mostly intramural meets amongst the schools. So I wasn't going I wasn't on the college team, but they had intramural things, and so I swam on my dorm's team and like that.
Well, that's great. That's great. What a great way to stay active and to, hopefully make new friends and avoid that traditional weight gain that usually happens when we all start college. That's fantastic. So you've been a swimmer. Go ahead.
I was going to say, for me, weight gain was actually a good thing because I was really skinny. So I was actually having to gain weight when I was throughout high school. My doctor and my coach, every year said, you got to gain a few more pounds. You got to gain a few more pounds. And so I was one of the fortunate ones because I started out really skinny.
Well, then you are one of the fortunate ones. So your diet consisted of Ho-Hos and Twinkies and things like that.
So protein shakes.
Oh, protein shakes. Okay, that's probably a better route.
Well, yeah, that's probably a little healthier.
Well, excellent. So then after college, did you continue to swim, or did you kind of set it to the side as you moved on with your career and family and things?
Well, I pretty much stopped swimming. Actually, my junior year in college, because I'd been doing it most of my life, and I just wanted to find out what it was like to not be a swimmer.
Yeah.
To be something else. And so
you want to know what it felt like to be dry?
Yes, that too. But just kind of, finding out what a different group of people is like, because when you're in one particular format, you get a particular picture of the world, and I decided I wanted to see what were other things like. I want to try other things out.
What else was out there? That's great. So you kind of put swimming aside. Did you immediately transition into a different sport at that point?
No, I kind of just I lived on a college campus, and I had to get to classes. So at that point, I had a bicycle, and so I was riding this really old bicycle that I'd been given when I was, I forget when I got it, but it was when I was young. And so I would just use that to get around campus. So I was using that, but not like as a sport, just as, functional transportation. And then when I started working, my senior year, I think, of college, I would ride my bike 1 or 2 nights to my work and then ride it home just because it wasn't that far. It was like a 25-minute ride. And, that was the best way to get around.
That's a pretty good ride.
Yeah, that's not bad. So if you're just joining us, you're listening to the Huntsman World Senior Games Active Life, and we're visiting with Kati Twinem-Jones, who is an athlete at the Huntsman World Senior Games. She's telling us that as a young girl, she started out as a swimmer and kind of just as a mode of transportation, kind of picked up cycling. At what point did you start running, and when did that become a part of your life?
After I graduated from college, a couple of people I was hanging out with talked about doing this thing called the Beta Breakers in San Francisco. And so I just started jogging like that and wound up, getting to the point where I could complete it. So I did it 1 year while I was living up in Northern California. And then I moved to Southern California and, again, just to stay active, was doing some jogging and did the same thing again about 2 years later.
So help us understand, what is the Beta Breakers?
Beta Breakers, you run from the bay in San Francisco to the ocean.
Okay.
It's about a 7.5-mile run. And I guess when I ran it, there was like several thousand people, but it's really huge now. I think it's like 40,000, 50,000 people or something like that. It's really, really, really huge.
Wow. So you just kind of did it as just kind of a fun thing to do with your friends and a way to stay active. Yeah. And well, excellent. So then my next question for you, Kati, is when did you decide to put all three of these skills together, the swimming, the biking, and the running?
January of this year.
Oh, okay.
So I'm really new at it. I've done one reverse triathlon, and when I come to the Senior Games, this will be the first time I've done a regular sprint triathlon. So just putting them together now.
Now, help us understand, what is a reverse triathlon? I've never really heard that term before.
Well, you start out with the run first, then you do the bike, and then you do the swim. And this takes place, the one that I competed in is down here in Los Alamitos. It's on a military base, and so we're doing the run and the cycling out on the landing strips, tarmac, and then they have a pool there, a nice 50-meter pool, and you finish off the swim in the 50-meter pool.
That's interesting. That's an interesting concept, because, see, that would scare me, because I would rather be running on hard, dry earth when I'm tired than swimming, because I'm less likely to drown on hard, dry earth.
So what's the...
Well, for me, the running's really the hard part, the hardest of the three events, and so I figured for my first thing, this was a good way of dipping my toe in to find out what a triathlon was like. And because I basically walk run, I really can't run very well. And having the bike next and the swim, I love the swim. Those were great. I just really enjoyed that part of it very much.
Well, yeah, for a swimmer, that's probably really the way to go. And someone who's spent most of their youth, almost 10 or more years swimming, that probably makes sense with you. I am like Jeff. Swimming is definitely my weak point. I've done a couple of triathlons. I do not consider myself a triathlete, but I have done a couple of triathlons. But I definitely appreciate not having to keep myself afloat at the end of the race.
I think I would need those little arm floaties.
Yeah, absolutely.
If I were to do a reverse triathlon.
And maybe some flippers and maybe an oxygen tank.
That too. That would help.
So what is the
reverse triathlon? Because there's an advantage is that you get to wear the same outfit, because you don't get your clothing wet until the end. Until you get to wear the same thing that you run in, to ride in, and then you swim in it. And it works out real well in terms of the concern about, nothing to me is worse than riding on a bicycle with a wet seat.
With a wet swimsuit,
so it saves a couple of minutes in transition time.
So is that the main motivation? Is that the main thing, is the clothing, or is there another reason why a reverse triathlon would be preferred?
To be honest, for me, I was just trying something. I thought about doing some kind of triathlon, and one of my friends said she was doing it. I thought, well, heck, I'll try it.
I'll give it a try.
What it's like. And that was the main thing. But either way, we'll find out. I'll find out in October which one I like best.
Which one you prefer.
Yeah.
Well, we're excited that we get to be, one of your firsts, one of your discoveries. That's great for us. So how many times, Kati, have you been to the Huntsman World Senior Games, or will this be your first time?
I think I've competed twice, maybe 3 times, and then I came one year where I couldn't compete because I was injured.
Okay.
But I think I've been to the games 3 or 4 times. Oh, I take it back. My husband's helping me out here. I've been 5 times, and one year I couldn't compete.
So what sports did you do on those other years?
Cycling only. I was just doing cycling.
Okay. So cycling has kind of become, you started out as a youth, as you said, a swimmer, but cycling has kind of become your specialty.
Yeah, it's the easiest.
Now you said you were...
You can breathe.
Yeah.
You said you were injured a couple of years ago. What was your injury?
Well, I have a current back problem since I was 30 years old, and so a lot of times I'm good, but sometimes it flares up, and so I had a flare just prior to the one Senior Games.
Well, now, one of the challenges that a lot of, especially people in our demographic, the seniors have is dealing with injuries and overcoming them and moving on and possibly being able to compete again. So give us an idea of some of the things that you did to help you overcome the injury that allowed you to compete
I'd have to tell you, I'm very, very fortunate. I was, when I was working, I was a biofeedback therapist, and I worked in a chronic pain program, and we dealt mostly with neck and back pain people. And so I learned a lot from the people who were injured and what we taught them and things like that. So I had the skills of my own profession, plus I had the good fortune of working with a premier physical therapist, and so she helped me several times and taught me the things that I need to do to recover from an injury and then allow me to keep going and like that. So, like I said, I've been very, very fortunate.
Well, that is fortunate. What are just a couple of things, without getting into maybe a lot of details, but just maybe one or two things that you have learned, specific things that have helped you out?
There's probably two key things. One is breathing, being able to breathe correctly. And then the other is just got to have a strong core. So I do now exercises to help strengthen my core, to help take care of my back.
Okay, so things like crunches and sit-ups and those types of things,
no.
Or not those things?
Not crunches.
Okay, because I've heard
They're
that sometimes.
They're not actually that helpful, but that's okay.
Well, what are some exercises you can do to strengthen your core?
There's some yoga exercises, but basically there's a set of stomach muscles that most people ignore, and learning to find those, to work them, and then you do various kinds of exercises. There's planks, which a lot of people know what planks are, tabletop exercises. There's a number of things, but the main thing is being able to find and strengthen the correct muscle, and then you work that in various situations.
So is it more helpful to have a therapist helping you find those? I mean, is it something that I could find on my own?
Initially, yeah.
So I'm better off having a therapist.
But once you find them, once you find them and know what exercises to do, you can pretty much manage yourself. And that's the goal of a good therapist, is to teach their patient the tools and techniques, not only to get them over that injury, but should another one come up, so they'll know what to do to be able to take care of themselves.
Yeah, absolutely. So you've been coming to the games for 5 years, as you mentioned. Do you have a favorite memory that maybe a favorite experience that happened while you were here at the Huntsman World Senior Games that you'd like to share?
Well, first off, St. George is gorgeous. So that's just it's such a great place to come and compete. And the fact that there are so many people interested in taking care of themselves, and so when you go to the Senior Games, you're around all these great, healthy people, which promotes you wanting to be even, to stay healthy and stay active. So that's mostly, it's just kind of the whole feeling of being up there.
There is definitely a special feeling about the games. There's no question about it. And you mentioned that the area is beautiful. It truly is. It's we feel blessed to be able to live here and to be surrounded by these amazing red rocks and the black lava stone as well. And some of the venues, especially for you in the cycling, go right through some of the most beautiful places on earth. The hill climb and the road race will go right through Snow Canyon State Park, which is just truly an astounding place. So you as an athlete really get to experience firsthand some of those amazing places, but all of our athletes, of course, could take advantage of that. And then you also touched on the kind of the camaraderie and the friendship and all that comes as well. Our mission at the Huntsman World Senior Games, as you know, is to foster worldwide peace, health, and friendship. And we found that, friendship is such a vital and important part of what we do at the games. And we're glad that people can connect and take advantage of that and just interact on a social way that helps motivate them, like you said.
Absolutely. Because it's fun to compete, yes, but then you meet people, and the reason you keep coming back is you want to see those people again. You have to make friends, and then every year look forward to seeing those same people again. So absolutely.
That's great, Kati. We appreciate you once again taking time to be with us. That's about all the time that we have today to visit, but we look forward to seeing you in October at the Huntsman World Senior Games and wish you the very best of luck as you participate in your first ever triathlon.
Good luck, Kati. Thank you.
Thank you.
So, Jeff, we are coming up on our biggest deadline of the year at the games.
The dead deadline.
That is right. On September 1st, registration for the Huntsman World Senior Games officially closes. Mm-hmm. So if you're interested in registering for the games, you need to go to www.seniorgames.net and register right now.
Right. It's coming fast.
Yes, September 1st is the deadline. So today is the day to get yourself registered. And if you're wondering if you're eligible, if you are or if you will turn 50 by December 31st this year, you are eligible.
That's right.
And we have 28 different sports to choose from. And for information on any of these sports, you can visit our website. Again, that is seniorgames.net. There you can get the rules, the schedules. Of course, you can register. And again, we encourage you to do that as quickly as possible. If you've heard something that you like on the show today, or you've been inspired by what you've learned, shoot us an email at activelife@seniorgames.net. Tune in next Thursday at 4:30 p.m. Mountain Time on AM 1450 or FM 93.1 for those who are listening live. And for those of you outside the area, you can listen to this and any previous episode right from our website. Once again, that is seniorgames.net. And here's our inspiration for the day. You never stop doing your best just because someone doesn't give you credit. Until next Thursday, stay active.
Bye, everybody.